Hello children, welcome back to Standard 9 Science and Technology Part 1. This is the second module of acids, bases and salts. In this module children, we will be learning about concentration of acid and base, how to measure concentration, pH of a solution, dissociation of pure water, pH scale and about universal indicators. Before beginning our new module, let us recollect our previous one. We have learned that the compounds having H plus as the basic radical in them are called acids, and the compounds having OH minus as the acidic radical in their molecules are bases. The ionic compounds having basic radicals other than H plus and acidic radicals other than OH minus are called as salts. The force of attraction between one positive charge on a cation and one negative charge on an anion makes one ionic bond. An ionic compound forms an aqueous solution on dissolving in water. Acids and bases are classified on the basis of the extent to which they dissociate in their aqueous solutions. They are classified as strong acid, strong base, weak base, and also as alkali. According to the number of H plus ion obtained from one molecule, the acids can be classified as monobasic, dibasic and tribasic acids. According to the number of OH minus ion obtained from one molecule, the bases can be classified as monoacidic, diacidic and triacidic bases. The number of H plus ions obtainable by the dissociation of one molecule of an acid is called its basicity. The number of OH minus ions obtainable by the dissociation of one molecule of a base is called its acidity. Let us learn about concentration of acid and base. Try this children. Cut a lemon into two equal parts. Take the juice of equal part in two separate beakers. Pour 10 ml of drinking water in one beaker and pour 20 ml in the second beaker. So for first beaker pour 10 ml and the second beaker pour 20 ml. So stir the solution and taste them. How do you feel? Will there be any difference in the taste of the solution in two beakers? What is it? Of course, both the solutions taste sour. The sour taste is due to lemon juice in them. The quantity of the lemon juice is same in both the solution, isn't it? But their taste is different. Actually, if you see, the solution in the first beaker is more sour than the one in the second. Why is it so? Although the quality of the solute is the same in both the solutions, the quantity of the solvent, that is the amount of the solvent, is different, isn't it? Ratio of quantity of the solute to the quantity of the resulting solution is different. So this ratio is larger for the solution in the first beaker, so it is more sour. But the proportion of the lemon juice to the total solution of water is smaller and the taste is less. Simply children, the amount of water that dissolves half of a lemon is less in beaker A. That is, we have only 10 ml. In the same time, in beaker B, for the same half lemon juice, we are adding 20 ml of water. So, it dilutes it more. So, beaker A is having more sour juice than beaker B. If you see, the taste of foodstuff depends on the ingredient and its proportion, how much it is present in the foodstuff, isn't it? All the properties of a solution depend on nature of the solute and solvent and also the proportion of the solute in the solution. Proportion is how much amount in the solution. The proportion of a solute in a solution is called the concentration of the solution, children. The proportion of a solute in the solution is called as concentration of the solution. When the concentration is high, it is called concentrated, and when it is less, it is a dilute solution. Simply, if it is more amount of water you are adding to a solution, it becomes dilute. That is, the proportion of solvent is more, the solution becomes a dilute solution. Understood? How to measure the concentration? So, the concentration can be measured by two means. The first is mass of the solute in grams. So, how many grams of the solute we are taking to 1 liter of the solution. So, it is simply can be written as grams per liter. The second unit is the number of moles. How many moles of the solute is being dissolved in 1 liter of the solution. This is also called as molarity. This molarity is the generally used term to refer the concentration of a solution. So molarity is number of moles present in liters of solution. So the molarity is indicated by writing its molecular formula inside a square bracket. If you can see, so this is a molecular formula for sodium chloride written inside the square bracket, means that we are going to write the molarity of the solution, which is equal to 1, means the molarity of this solution is 1 molar, or simply written as 1 m. Depending on that calculation, children, there is a table given in your textbook which you are expected to complete. One row is being filled for your reference. So here terminologies relating to solute, quantity, volume of solution, concentration, everything is given along with their units. And for sodium chloride, reference and how it has to be calculated is also given. It is just a simple mathematical calculation. The first blank left is HCl, which is nothing but hydrochloric acid. If we see the molecular mass of hydrochloric acid, it adds up to 36.5 units. This is a molecular mass. So the gram, that is the quantity of solute, is 3.65 grams. So E, which is nothing but mole, is D upon C. Here G is 3.65 upon C is 36.5. Calculating, we will get 0.1 mole. So the volume of solution is also given 1 liter here. Calculating the concentration of the solution, G is gram per liter. When you calculate in terms of gram per liter, we are going to calculate. So the gram is also given, that is 3.65. Liters is given 1 liter. So we will get 3.65 grams per liter. When we are calculating in terms of molarity, we will see moles per liter. So moles per liter, when you calculate, mole is here 0.1, per liter is 1 again, it gives 0.1 molar. The same way, we have to fill the third row as well, children. You can try this. Third one, it is sodium hydroxide. Molecular mass of sodium hydroxide is 40. The quantity of the solute is not given here, but we know the values E and C. Using this, we can calculate the value of D rearranging this formula. So the answer is 60 grams. Then the value of G and H we have to calculate. The value of G is D upon F, which we will get 30 grams per liter here. And the concentration in terms of molarity, that is H is equal to E upon F. Calculating, we will get the value of 0.175 molar. That is 1.5 upon 2. It gives you 0.75. Now we are going to learn an important topic, that is pH of a solution. Acids and bases, we know they dissociate in water and they form aqueous solution. Acids, they form H plus ion, and bases form OH minus ions on dissociation. This we know very well. So acid in water forms H plus ions and base in water forms OH minus ions. So H plus and OH minus ions are found in different proportions if you see in all natural aqueous solutions. So this determines the properties of those solutions. Let us find out where pH is necessary. First, if you see, the proportion of H plus and OH minus ions divides soil into acidic, basic and neutral types. So there are three types of soils: acidic, basic and neutral. So according to the soil type only, we can decide what kind of crop grows in it. Say, then next thing is your blood, the cell sap. Cell sap is a liquid that is present in the vacuole of a plant cell. They should have a proper amount of H plus and OH minus ion so that they can function properly. We know fermentation. Fermentation and other biochemical processes carried out with the help of microbes especially, and many chemical processes, they need the proportion of H plus and OH minus ion to be maintained with certain limits. So there is a need that we have to check the proportion of H plus and OH minus ions so that the things goes proper way. We all know, children, water has both hydrogen and oxygen. When water dissociates, it dissociates into OH minus and H plus. Pure water, it undergoes dissociation and gives rise to these two, H plus and OH minus, in equal proportion. Due to this property, there exist both H plus and OH minus in any aqueous solution, but their concentration may be different. Talking about the concentration of H plus ions, children, the concentration of H plus formed by dissociation of water at 25 degrees Celsius is 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 7 moles per liter. At the same temperature, the concentration of H plus by hydrochloric acid, which is a strong acid, is 1 into 10 power 0, and that of sodium hydroxide, that is 1 m sodium hydroxide, is 1 into 10 power minus 14 moles per liter. From this, we understand that the range of H plus ion concentration will vary from 10 raised to the power 0 to 10 raised to the power minus 14. In the year 1909, the Danish scientist called Sorensen, he introduced a new scale of expressing this H plus ion concentration. This was very useful in chemical and biochemical process. He is the scientist Sorensen. It is called as the pH scale. pH means power of hydrogen. The pH scale extends from 0 to 14. If you see, this is the range of the pH scale from 0 to 14. Pure water has the pH of 7, which means that it has concentration of H plus ion is 1 into 10 power minus 7 mole per liter, the molarity. pH 7, it indicates a neutral pH. So this is the midpoint of the scale. pH of an acidic solutions will be less than 7 and that of a basic solution will be more than 7. Children, let us look at the pH of some commonly used aqueous solutions. First, here is 1 molar hydrochloric acid, which is 0. Then gastric juice that is present in our stomach, the pH is 1. It is very highly concentrated. Lemon juice is 2.5. Vinegar, it is 3. Tomato juice has a pH of 4.1. Black coffee is also acidic, 5. Acid rain's pH is 5.6. The pH of urine is 6. Rain and milk are also slightly acidic. They fall around 6.5. Sometimes 6.5 to 7.5 can also be considered as neutral. If you see, it is gradually increasing from weak acid to strong acid. Then if you see the pH of pure water and sugar solution, it is 7, they are neutral. pH of blood is basic, 7.4. solution of baking soda is 8.5. Our toothpaste we are using is 9.5. Milk of magnesia. Milk of magnesia is the one, it is given like in a tonic form to reduce the acidity of the stomach. So the pH is 10.5 so that it will reduce the acidity. Lime water. Lime water, it is the solution of calcium hydroxide. It is 11 and strong base, that is 1 m sodium hydroxide is 14. Now you can realize what are the acidic and what are the basic substances that we are daily using. Children, can you recollect? What are the colors of the following natural and synthetic indicators in acidic and basic solutions? Do you remember? This we have learned in our previous standard about litmus. This you are very well aware. Red litmus turns blue in a basic solution, whereas blue litmus turns red in an acidic solution. About turmeric. Turmeric do not change color with acid, but it changes to bright red color with base. Methyl orange. Yes. Methyl orange with acid it gives a red color, and with a base it gives a yellow color. Here you can see the color of methyl orange. Remember phenolphthalein? Phenolphthalein with acid it does not give a color change, where with the base it gives a nice pink color. Those were the color changes we have observed in natural and artificial indicators, children. But there is something called universal indicator. We know that in a pH scale, the pH of the solutions varies from 0 to 14 according to whether it is an acid or base. To show these variations in pH, a universal indicator is used. A universal indicator, it shows different colors at different values of pH, as you can see. This universal indicator is made by mixing several synthetic indicators in specific proportion. The pH of a solution can be determined by means of universal indicator solution or pH paper, both. This is the color of the pH paper, and you can see according to the pH how the color of the paper have changed. So the most accurate method is not using universal indicator, children, but by using an electrical instrument called pH meter. So this pH meter accurately measures the pH of a given solution. It has electrodes, and those electrodes are dipped in the solution and they convey the perfect pH value. Shall we summarize the points, children? All the properties of a solution depend on the nature of the solution and solvent, and also on the proportion of the solute in the solution. The proportion of a solute in a solution is called as the concentration of the solute in that solution. When the concentration of a solute in a solution is high, it is called as a concentrated solution, whereas if the concentration is low, it is termed as a dilute solution. The first unit to measure this concentration is expressed in grams per liter, and the second one is in molarity, moles per liter of the solution. Pure water undergoes dissociation to a very small extent, and it gives rise to H plus and OH minus ions in equal proportion. The range of H plus ion concentration varies from 10 raised to the power 0 to 10 raised to the power minus 14 moles per liter. In the year 1909, the Danish scientist Sorensen introduced a scale for expressing concentration of H plus ion, and that is called as a pH scale. pH 7 indicates a neutral solution, and it is the midpoint of the scale. pH less than 7 are termed as acidic solutions, where pH greater than 7 means that it is a basic solution. A universal indicator is made by mixing several synthetic indicators in specific proportion. It shows different colors at different values of pH. The most accurate way of measuring a pH of a solution is to use an electrical instrument called pH meter. We will be learning more about acids and bases in the coming modules. How do they react? Until then, take care, children. Bye.